Coming up on Down Under EV Adventures, my wife's intermediate steering shaft needs replacing on her Atto 3. Welcome back to Down Under EV Adventures, everyone, and I apologise, I've still got my cold. Now we're back in Iris's car today, and she's got some issues with her steering column or steering shaft. More specifically, the intermediate steering shaft, which runs from the steering wheel down this part here and then into the steering rack, which then turns the wheels at the front of the car. Now we first sort of noticed this because at low speeds I was driving her car a few weeks ago, and we were taking the dog for a walk, and I was turning the wheel and I could hear this thunk, and I thought, hang on, that's not normal. I certainly didn't have that noise on my Atto, and I asked my wife if she'd heard it, and she said yes. She thought it was just like a rough road or a rock or something. And I said, no, it's actually on the steering wheel. And anyway, so I'll show you a bit later on in the video because I actually did record it, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the noise. So anyway, we took it into a local mechanic who we've been going to for years when we had petrol cars. So I'll give them a bit of a plug here. They're called GWA Automotive in Kalgoorlie. And my wife used to take her Subaru there, and before that her Peugeot there. And anyway, they diagnosed the problem that she's got a problem with the intermediate steering shaft. And the issue is it could potentially not collapse in an accident. So in any accident you move forward like this onto the steering column, and if this one doesn't collapse at a higher speed, then it causes more injuries to particularly the head, the chest, that upper region of the body. And there was a lot of accidents in the old days from when steering wheels weren't collapsible. So cars sort of prior to the 1970s, very few cars had collapsible steering wheels, and there was a lot of deaths from frontal impacts, obviously the higher you go. Now they told us everything was okay with the car other than that. So the steering essentially works, the airbag still works, brakes still work, and you can essentially steer the car, but there's always that risk with a frontal impact that it won't collapse. So what did we do about all this? Well, we did call BYD in Perth, and we called the Cannington branch because that's the closest branch to us, and they wanted us to drive the car all the way to Perth to get this fixed under warranty. And my wife sort of said, well, yeah, I can drive it to Perth, but I might not get there alive because, if anything happens and there's a steering failure, then, it's not going to be worth it for her or for us to try and drive the car to Perth. And, the cost of actually getting the car to Perth, by truck or anything is not cheap either. So that sort of left us the option of, should we just go ahead and try to repair it ourselves outside of the warranty? So I'm not sure whether we're going to recoup the money from BYD, but GWA definitely looked after us. So they only charged us $60 to actually diagnose the problem, and then they could order an intermediate steering shaft. It was around about $440 plus GST, so roughly $500 to get a replacement shaft. But anyway, what I'll do now is I'll see if I can attempt to show you so you can hear the noise for yourself. There, you can hear that clunk there. Okay, so it was tricky, but I managed to get it there, so you should have been able to hear that. So yeah, the car still steers okay, but you just hear this clunk. So anyway, that the mechanic told us, he said, look, just drive the car very cautiously, very carefully around town. Probably don't want to drive much above 60 or 70 k's an hour, and we certainly don't want to be driving to Perth to get it repaired. So we've arranged for the steering shaft to be ordered, and then the local people will do it, and I think it will be money well spent, and it will be cheaper than trying to get it to BYD to fix under warranty. Now we'd love to know if anyone out there with an Atto has had a similar problem. We've got no idea whether it's a manufacturing fault or whether it was an installation fault that caused this failure. So yeah, if anyone out there has had a similar problem, let us know. Even if you don't have an Atto, another car, with a similar issue, love to know how common this one is. I can't imagine it would be that common. And it's the first time, of course, that we've heard it happening to the Atto 3. So yeah, my wife's car is coming up to 2 years old, and this is the first thing that she's really had wrong with the car. Alright, we'll keep you posted on that. She's getting it fixed very soon, and we'll let you know what the outcome is and the final cost. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you very soon with more on Down Under EV Adventures. Take care. Bye for now.